Hello Saddlers fans, welcome to another season here at the newly named Pallet Track Bescot Stadium. My name's Simon Hill, joined by of course my partner in crime Sam Hadwin. Sam, another pre-match hype, but it's kicking things off with a friendly, our annual against Aston Villa. A good run out for the lads, and obviously we know what happened last season. But this season again, we've got to talk about the fans, the players, the new recruits, and what this will mean for the lads today.
Yeah, absolutely, as you say, Simon. Great to be back here. Yeah. Pallet Track Bescot Stadium, different name to what it was the last couple of years with Poundland, but nevertheless, it's great to be back here. Gives the players and ourselves a chance to dust off those cobwebs, because it feels like ages ago since that Chesterfield playoff semi-final second leg. So it'd be a good chance for us to see some of the new lads in action, and I'm very much looking forward to it, Simon.
Yeah, same, and I think we've got to start with Presley, 2-in-2. He's come in as a new guy and already making an impact. We'll talk about Flash in a moment as well, who's also 2-in-2. So with some of the new lads that are coming in there, fitting in their gelling, you've been down the training ground, watching them all kind of figure things out, and the chemistry's there from the off. Yeah,
the new lads have been to put it frankly, a breath of fresh air. You look at some of the players that we've signed, Mason Hancock, Harrison Burt, Courtney Clark, those types of players that are coming in from non-league. We've seen Jamie Jellis, Colin Barrett and a few others come through that system and really put their mark into the EFL and League Two football specifically. So I think those guys have gelled in really well. Some of the older lads, I don't want to show their age too much and upset them, but the likes of Jamil Matt, Albert Adoma, those that have seen there, done it all, experienced the highs and the lows, which no doubt we've gone through last season. I think that'll put them in good stead, and hopefully the new lads can gel off them, which they have done. Like I say, the times that I've been there at the training grounds, the place is bouncing, as it always is. Matt Sadler's really instilled that sort of positive environment, and an environment where people get to know each other on a professional level, but as a personal, relationship as well. So I think from an early offset, signs are promising.
Yeah, absolutely. And Josh Gordon, of course, had some time off last season, was plagued with injury. We saw some ups and downs of his, but straight away coming back into the squad pre-season, 2-in-2 already. He's looking sharp. I mean, that 30-yard screamer, it was a bit cheeky, wasn't it?
It was, and it's a shame that you guys couldn't see it on camera, because when me and Paul were there reporting on the game, it was one of those where you think, surely not. It's an audacious attempt to even attempt to score a goal like that, but credit to him, he spotted the keeper off his line and he's absolutely dinked it over him. It was a great goal, and again, sorry you didn't see it, guys, but it was one for the eyes, that's for sure. But no, you mentioned Flash, it was a difficult season for him. I think that's an easy way of putting it for him. A couple of injuries, setback, whilst he's during that rehabilitation period as well. He'd have been desperate to be out there with the lads more often than he was last year. So, this is, if anything, a really important stage for him in his Walsall career. Obviously, he's spent a couple of years with us in his first spell. But coming back to us, this is a really important pre-season for him. And so far, he's took it with aplomb, really. 2 goals, as you say. Yeah. One against Hereford, one against Leamington at the end as well. Probably could have scored another one in that Leamington game as well, as could Aaron Presley. But they both got themselves on the score sheet. And when you're looking at what you want your strikers to offer, ultimately, you want goals. And so far, they're showing that. So it'd be a difficult test for them today against some Premier League opposition, but they'll be coming into it full of confidence.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is always a fun game to work and be a part of. And it's also a fun game for the lads. They get to go out there and play against Premier League opposition. Villa do kind of like to test out some of their youngsters for the season ahead. But, we've seen Ollie Watkins score here. We've seen Buendia and a few others of the big players also get their opportunity. I think from some of the younger lads you've mentioned, bringing them in from non-league, this is a great way for them to learn, and be thrown in the deep end.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is a different kettle of fish compared to the likes of Leamington and Hereford, and no disrespect to those teams at all, but, if you'd have said to Courtney Clark when he first come in, give it a couple of weeks, mate, and you'll be playing Aston Villa and potentially marking the likes of Buendia or a Leon Bailey of the world, he'd have snapped your hand off for it. And I know the lads are excited for it. We're certainly excited for it because, for the players, it's not often you get to play against this calibre of opposition. Aston Villa, Europa League contestants this year, just missing out on Champions League. Yeah. We won't go into that because, quite frankly, we're all about Walsall here, not about the opposition. But, it was a really good season for him. They've got a great manager, Unai Emery, experienced. He's won titles everywhere he's been. So, from a Villa perspective, It's their first game of pre-season.
Yeah.
Obviously, their lads came back in on Monday, I believe. So, chance for them to dust off the cobwebs as well and get familiar with some potential new signings as well. So, it's one of those. The lads are looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it. You know, seems like an annual fixture in our calendars, isn't it?
Yeah.
Welcoming Aston Villa here. So, I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully, as you say, more minutes in the legs for the lads. Hopefully, no injuries.
Yeah.
I think that's the key.
Yeah.
You know, results.
Absolutely. Keep everyone
result
fit.
aside, keep everyone fit. Move into the next one and advance closer to the season.
I want to finish on the fans because, of course, last season we spoke about it week in, week out, how incredible they were for us here at the newly branded Pallet Trap Bescott Stadium. They were the life and soul of this ground, and you know, we're going to kick things off here with just over 9,500, I believe.
Yep.
And again, although this is a friendly, we have such a great atmosphere for this one. But I think the fans are going to be really important going into this season with the way last season ended.
Yeah, I mean, we both know because we're fans ourselves as well. The fans are the heartbeat of the club, and we've seen some of the games last season. I'll go back to the Chesterfield game again. The atmosphere that night was something extraordinary, to be honest. You know, a full, what was a Poundland lower, but now North Star. Make sure I get the namings right. North Stand lower was absolutely packed.
Yeah.
The stadium was rocking. We got the result on the day, but there was other games as well. You know, the Port Vale game, for example, would have been expected anyway because you know of the calibre of the game. It's a derby in some aspects when you look at both clubs, but the atmosphere has been great. The fans in their numbers, both home and away, has been exceptional. I know you guys will be coming out to support us again throughout the season. It's going to be a long old season, as it always is, but with your backing, anything's possible. And hopefully this year, with their support and their backing from the stands and on social media, that kind of thing, hopefully we're in for another positive season.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are just about to open our doors, Saddlers fans, so thanks once again for joining us. Our first home fixture of the pre-season against Aston Villa, and it's all going to happen right here at the newly branded Pallet Track Bescott Stadium.